People on the left need to understand that the firing of Jimmy Kimmel has nothing to do with an attack on freedom of speech. These were the same exact people who were praising when President Trump got banned from all of social media. These two things are not the same. You can't ban a president, support the banning of a president, and then say that a firing of a TV show host whose ratings were in the absolute gutter, who's fired for literally lying on air, saying that MAGA is the one that killed Charlie Kirk. Madness, insanity. These two things are not the same. And let's go over what Jason Bateman is saying right now about the situation. Let's play it.
Well, it's troubling to say the least, and we all have to really take a moment and figure out how we feel about this type of thing, especially people doing what you do. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of collective move to respond to this, but I'm not smart enough or powerful enough to be the one to do it. But I imagine there's plenty of conversations going on to do something, because you just can't stand by and let stuff like that go on.
Stuff like?
Well, Jimmy getting a show pulled for freedom of speech. Well, it's
Freedom of speech. Yeah, freedom of speech. There's no freedom of consequence when you say something like that. If I'm coming on this YouTube show right now and I say something that's explicitly against YouTube's terms of service, yes, that's not really okay. I get my account terminated for calling for violence or blatantly lying about something. There are rules on platforms that you're on. Granted, the right has been under attack through these rules, obviously, way more than the left. I don't even think the left was under attack with these rules at all, where the big tech and media would be changing their rules simply to stop our very mild and very popular opinions. What Jimmy Kimmel did, he did not express an opinion. I guess it was an opinion, but what he did was blatantly lie about a very serious situation. That is a clear violation. I'm sure that Disney and ABC did not like that type of lie, especially with all the heat that people have been getting for spreading lies like that or even celebrating the Charlie Kirk assassination. So it was fully justified to fire somebody from your network who said things that are blatantly false. Nothing wrong with that. It has nothing to do with freedom of speech. You don't have a right to someone else's platform in that manner. So this says Hollywood star Jason Bateman reacts to Jimmy Kimmel. Says, it's troubling to say the least. You cannot stand by and let stuff like that go on. Like Jimmy Kimmel's show getting pulled for freedom of speech literally has nothing to do with freedom of speech. I personally think that ABC was looking for a reason to dump Jimmy Kimmel. Tim Pool tweeted out, holy shit, Jimmy Kimmel's only getting 129,000 viewers. Haha, that's in the 18 to 49 age demographic, which is abysmally low. I made a podcast TikTok video with my baby, who's 2 weeks old, that got more views than that in that demographic. So these people are not that influential. It's just a show that's on TV, and these late night shows have been costing these networks more money than they're worth, as you can see with what happened with Stephen Colbert, and you're going to probably start seeing it happen with more. I was just the first domino to fall. That's why all those late night hosts came out to honor Stephen Colbert for basically getting fired, his sending off party, because they know they're next on the chopping block. They know that they're next. They know that their industry is dying. Maybe if you get rid of a few of them, some of that viewership will consolidate around maybe like a couple of them. And maybe that whoever's left could scrap together whatever market share is left in order to actually have a profitable show. But as it is now, and these people, they don't have any influence outside of the network that they're on. You saw when they did a podcast, all the late night show hosts did a podcast at one point, and it was a total flop. Total flop. Nobody even watched it. It had every single one of them on the podcast. Nobody watched it. I don't even think there's remnants of it on the internet anymore. That's how awful it did. So these people don't have any outside influence. Look at Don Lemon. He was the top CNN guy. No one gives a shit about him anymore. These people don't have influence outside of their network. They never built a following. They got hired to do a job, essentially. And I'll give it to them. They probably grinded their way to get into the position that they made it to, but they didn't do that by gaining a huge audience and a huge fan base that will go out of their way to watch or listen to them. They got thrown and put on a network. If you put me on those networks, I guarantee you I will get more views than them. I could literally guarantee that. But that wouldn't even be because of my following, which is pretty poor. I just know how to make viral content. But if I was to get that opportunity to get thrown on, I'm not saying I want to or should, if I was given that opportunity to be thrown on a platform like that, I know how to work that. I know how to, I'll be headlining it every single week. But anyways, that's your spiel. Comment below what you think. Do you think it's an attack on freedom of speech, or do you think it's fully justified?